So let's create our first EMR cluster. In this video, we'll see how to create an EMR cluster, a basic EMR cluster. So here is the page, Amazon web page. I have logged into this web page using the root uh, user as a root user with my email ID and password. And I opened this Amazon EMR page, okay, web page, and this is the place where you can create your uh, EMR cluster. So first we have to name the cluster. I'll name it as EMR test EMR. Okay, I have to choose the release of the EMR. So I'm choosing the latest one, and then you have the options, application bundles. So you can choose applications, whichever applications you want. I will go with the custom option and choose which all options I want, and accordingly I will select those applications. Okay, so these are some applications I have selected. Then I'll come down here to select the metadata, Hive table and Spark table for metadata. Okay, then here down, next I'll keep it. Most of the options I'll keep them as it is. I'm not going to make any changes right now because we are just seeing how an EMR cluster is created. Okay, so I'll maintain the selected options, already selected options. Okay, okay. So core choose EC2 instance. So here I'm choosing EC2 instance, Elastic Cloud Compute with this configuration, which is by default present on this web page. Next, and so for core and task, I'm maintaining the same options which are by default selected on this page. Okay, so I'll move down EBS root volume. I'll keep it as it is, but what is mentioned. So cluster scaling provision, set cluster size manually. So I have so I'll retain the same option here. The next provisioning configuration. So I have maintained m5.x large. I'll take one instances for both of them. Then coming the networking virtual private cloud. So already I have one virtual private cloud created. So I'll explain you what is a virtual private cloud. But right now I will just select what is virtual private existing virtual private cloud which I have created, which I had created. Okay, so I've selected it. By default, I also got the subnet. So here the next EC2 security group walls, I'm not going to touch that. Steps, cluster termination node replacement. Let's see what's there. Right. So it's saying whether you want to terminate it automatically or manually. So I kept the by default option to terminate automatically after 1 hour. So here is the time. Okay, so after 1 hour it will get terminated. Okay, so you can select this option, use termination protection, so that it protects uh, your cluster from accidental termination. Unlb node replacement, if you want to, it will, if it kept, if you keep it on, you turn on that option. Okay, it will try to reduce the loss due to unlb nodes. Okay, and job interruption. But if you turn it off, then it will not uh, safeguard you from the loss of data due to unlb nodes. Yes, there are some other options. So I'm not going to touch this option: bootstrap action, cluster logs, tag, software testing, security configuration, and EC2 key pair. Uh, but I will here I'll come and add an EC2 key pair for SSH to cluster. I'll explain later that why we require EC2 key pair for SSH to the cluster. Right now, just select what options I have. I already created key pair. So I'll select it and I'll choose it. So I had one key pair already created. I just selected that. So now the identity and access management rules. So there are some rules defined with the help of identity and access management. So those rules will be attached to your EMR. So I have existing service role already created. So they come with some features, some policies. So when you create your key pair service roles, I am service role. They come with some policies. You have to attach those policies, and accordingly, they your role gets what can say uh, that role gets administered or and attached to your EMR cluster. So here I'll choose one of the one which I created already. There were some rules. I'll later on explain you how to create this IAM rules. But right now we are just creating our basic EMR cluster. Okay, TCP is a profile for EMR. So here I'm creating one more, and then that's it. We'll just click on the create cluster button and we'll create our EMR cluster. So it will take some time. Um, so it is just starting. Maybe it will take time to start, and once it started and active, we can do our further operations or usage of this EMR for running Spark application. So in this, we will see how to create VPC in this part of the video. So VPC is virtual private cloud. So now, what is significance of virtual private cloud? So basically, virtual private cloud in AWS service, it's an isolated network environment within the AWS cloud. So what does it accomplishes? Okay, it provides network isolation and security. Okay, VPCs create logical separated isolation section of the AWS cloud where you can launch resources in a virtual network that you define. Then it also provides security group control that virtually act as firewalls, controlling inbound and outbound traffic to your EMR cluster. And apart from that, it also provides integration with the other AWS services. Okay, VPC facilitates secure communication between your EMR cluster and other AWS services like RDS databases, S3 buckets, or Lambda functions. Okay, without exposing it to the traffic to the public internet to VPC endpoints. So this is all the things that a virtual private cloud provides, and it is of significance when we create EMR cluster. Okay, we have to create an VPC, so we get all these features while working in our EMR cluster. So let's begin and understand how to create a VPC. Okay, so uh, here we are at this page, create a VPC. So you can literally come from AWS. Let's say this is your home page. From there, you can click on VPC. Okay, and then you can create click here to create VPC. So we directly come to this page. Okay. Now here I have two options: VPC only and VPC and more. So when I choose VPC only, I don't get any other of the features. So I choose VPC and more. So here I get subnets, route tables, everything they are providing. Okay. So okay. So we'll name it uh, test VPC. Okay. So this will be the name of our VPC. Okay. Then we'll keep CIDR. These are the what we can say IP addresses. Okay. This is the IP address for your virtual private cloud. Okay. So we'll keep it as it is. So we'll choose options, default options which are already there on this web page, on this page of the PC, and we'll go straight down and we'll create a VPC. Okay, so see all the features are getting enabled when we are creating VPC. View VPC. So now the VPC is created. Okay, we can use this VPC while creating the EMR cluster. So I'll create EMR here. Okay. So already let's create a cluster. Okay. So I'll name it my test cluster. Okay. So while creating this EMR cluster, we can use the VPC just now we created. Okay. I'll choose some options. Okay. I'll keep all other options by default options which are there on this page. Now here it is asking VPC is required. Okay, so in order to create a virtual private cloud, okay, that provides you the isolated environment, okay, and integration with other AWS services and security control. Okay, so to provide all these features, security control group, integration other AWS services, network isolation, security, you need a virtual private cloud. So I'll just browse it. Just now we created. So see the test VPC, iPhone VPC. This is available for use. Okay, I'll just choose it. Okay, so this is how a VPC is created and used in the EMR cluster. Now rest we can just go down. We'll check some of these features. Okay, we'll choose the key pair. So already there is a key pair. Okay, and then we'll simply choose the service, the IAM rule that are attached with some policies. Okay, then here too we will choose one of the uh, IAM rule this for the EC2. Okay, and we'll just launch our cluster. So this is how VPC is used. I hope so we have understood the concept of VPC, and within after a few minutes this cluster will be up and running. Right now it is just starting, so it will take some time for this cluster to get create this cluster, and for again we can use it. So now we'll understand the significance of EC2 key pair and how to create that EC2 Amazon EC2 key pair. So basically, the significance of EC2 key pair. Okay, the primary importance of EC2 key pair is to do the SSH to the EMR cluster. Okay, it's a EC2 key pair is a private key that corresponds to the EC2 key pair specified when creating an EMR cluster. It is the main use, the essential use of EC2 key pair is to securely access the SSH cell to the cluster's master and the core nodes. So that is the main significance of the EC2 key pair. Now let's jump on to create an EC2 key pair. So while creating an EMR cluster, after going through all these steps from starting, we'll come up here uh, at this point where you have to mention the EC2 key pair. If I browse, I already have an EC2 key pair, but how to create one? It's a very simple step. So create a key pair, click here. So we will be taken to the web page where you can create the key pair. Name the key pair. Let's say test key pair. Okay. So I'll mention it as RSA and I'll mention the PEM to open the SSH. Okay. To SSH the EMR cluster, and I'll simply say create key pair. So now a key pair is created and simultaneously it has downloaded the key file. So you have to ensure that you don't share this key pair with anybody. Okay, use to and use it to SSH securely open shell to access the EMR cluster. So now when you go over here and you browse, okay, I'll refresh it. So we have in this new test key pair that you can choose and then use it to SSH the EMR cluster. Okay, so we'll see how to do that, how to SSH the EMR cluster using this key pair. So now we will add IAM role. So the significance of IAM role, identity access management, where we define a role. Okay. Now what is the significance of this role? So the IAM role generally gives you the permission to access services, resources, and application for your specific need. Okay, in order to access these services, resources, you need to create a role and attach policies that defines that defines the permission to access these resources, services, and application. So let's create a role. Okay, in the section of RAM, identity access management inside AWS, and then we will pull or we will select the created role in our EMR cluster. So once that IAM role is defined in our EMR cluster, so we get the permission to access the resources, services, and application defined under this role by attaching the policies. So let's start. I'll just click on create role. I'll say AWS service. I'll say simply EMR. I'll select it. Okay. I'll say next. I'll say next. I'll name it. Uh, I'll say new role. Okay, you can give a name, but you have to see what is the terms to put the name of the role, and accordingly you mention the name. So here I'll just say create a role. Okay, the role is created, new role. Okay, now let's say I want to add permissions. I want to attach some permissions so that I can access that service resources or that application. So in that, I'll say add permissions. Then I'll say attach policies. Let's say I want to have full access, S3 access. So I'll select that. Then let's another service, Amazon, John, John, EMR. Okay. So here we select Amazon EMR full access policy. Okay. And I'll say add permissions, provide full access to Amazon EMR. Okay. So these are some policies I have attached. Okay. And I'll simply, so I'll get the full access to Amazon EMR, then to Amazon S3 full access. Okay. So these are the services I have attached. Uh, and when while creating the EMR cluster, I'll simply say refresh it, test role. Okay, so this IAM role will get attached in our configuration of EMR cluster. So next is the IAM role uh, policies that needs to be attached for EC2 instance profile for Amazon EMR. So similarly, here you can come and you can create a new policy, a new role altogether. Okay. Create role. Here you can mention EC2, and then you can simply say next. Okay, you can simply say EC2. So you can select full access, or you can say simply say EC2 full access, and you can simply say next, name, new EC2 access, give some name to it. Okay, and then you can simply say create role. Okay, so that role is created now. I'll simply come here, I'll say refresh, and I'll click here. So this role is available over here. So in this way, you can attach policies which define the permission to access services, resources, and application that you require or that you may require uh, in your EMR cluster. So hope so you have got the idea how to create IAM role or a service role which you can define your EMR cluster.